Welcome back, guys. I'm Brian J, and today I am once again surrounded by very handsome men. I am very excited. This is my first Mr. Pageant that I'm covering, and this is our SupraChat, kind of like a round table, as you can see. And yeah, let's get to know these gentlemen right now. Let's start with my right.
Hello, my name is Seth Marshall, and I am Mr. Washington 2023.
Hello, my name is Andrew Johnson, and I'm Mr. Supranational Texas.
What's up, guys? My name is Matthew Wayne, and I'm Mr. Supranational Michigan 2023.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ramon Leroy-Levy, and I am Mr. Supranational New York in 2023.
Hey guys, my name is David Albert, and I'm Mr. Massachusetts 2023.
How's it going? My name is Daniel Zamita. I'm Mr. Arizona Supranational 2023.
You know what? I forgot to say that I would love for you guys to say something maybe that no one knows about you. So maybe like an interesting fact.
Okay.
So let's go down the line again. Let's go ahead with Washington again.
I wrestled in 2 weight classes in high school.
Oh, fun fact. Texas?
I make the best French toast.
Ooh. Prove it.
Nice.
All right.
So my biggest fun fact is I was actually artificially inseminated through donor IVF, and I have 24 half-siblings.
Oh.
I have 2 degrees at the age of 21 and 22 years old.
Impressive.
I gave a TED Talk
Oh,
in high school.
that's pretty cool.
Nice.
I was Prince Charming for Disney.
Nice.
I like that.
Ooh.
That's really cool. Speaking of Disney in Florida, how about we go straight into something very controversial? Let's talk a little bit about what is happening in Florida, guys. You guys aren't from Florida, but you guys are looking to represent the U.S. So I'm guessing that you guys are aware of what's going on. I would love to hear a little bit of what your take is on that.
Yeah, of course. It's been going on for a lot of time, for the past year now, especially with pro-rights, Roe versus Wade, and I feel like I'm very pro-choice, and especially in a sense of just women going through harsh circumstances and having that option available for them.
Anyone else?
For me, having ties with Disney, used to work for the company. Florida right now, I know their government and Disney are kind of at odds. Disney has drawn the line in the sand. And so I think they're making a lot of the right decisions, and so they're having to make their stance on where they are with abortion, where they are with trans rights. And I definitely stand strong with Disney, and I know a lot of people live in Florida, and it's a very hard time for them right now, but just know the rest of the country, there's a lot of places where you still are accepted, you are welcome, and even in your home state, that's the most important place to fight. So keep the good fight.
I'll say that even though I'm not representing Orlando, Florida, or Florida in general, the fact that I live there and I'm representing New York, I stand firmly on equality, being who you are, be your most authentic self. And I feel like everybody should have a voice of some type of preference to being who you are at any given time and place. I too stand with Disney, but I'm for the people, for all the people.
Yeah.
Kind of like continuing off what they said, as someone who personally has a lot of close friends in the trans community, I myself am an ally. I'm not part of the LGBTQ community, but that being said, I ask people to be a upstander, not a bystander. Stand up for trans rights, which are they themselves are human rights, because everyone should be treated with the same level of respect, same level of equality as anyone else, and that even though what's happening right now is because of lack of education, people are acting out of fear because they're creating these laws that are unjust, that are taking away from gender affirming care because they're uninformed. People should be more informed in order to kind of create action, in order to maybe, I want to say, overall just increase the level of just equality amongst everyone else.
You know what? You guys are so eloquent talking about that. I love that, honestly.
Yeah.
Because human rights are so important, just like you said. And in America, we always pride ourselves in allegedly being the best country. And I've said it to all our groups so far. Let's talk a little bit about that. You know, we say we're the best country, but clearly we have a long way.
I would go on, or I would not backtrack a little bit, but why people come here is it's freedom, right? So let people be free, and I feel like we're in a huge, confusion state of where America is, but I think that's the biggest selling factor. You can come here, you can be who you are, and you should be allowed to be who you are, whether you want to be trans, gay, straight, who cares? Like, let you be who you want to be, and that's why I think America is so appealing to people. And with all this going on, I think it's scaring people away from wanting to come here because it's like they changed their whole lives to come here, and they are told no. Like, they're told they can't be who they are. So I would say that's why people come here, but that's also backtrack on what you guys were talking about. That's
And,
Texas, you-
and
I'm sorry.
no, I apologize.
Texas, you come from a very conservative state.
Definitely.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's important that we all love each other and our unique perspectives that we offer, opinions, whether that be through religion and our varying viewpoints. So long as we come across as, or we go with it with the perspective of loving each other
Compassion.
and compassion, exactly, then I think we're going to win as a country for sure.
Yeah, back to Brian's question as well. For me personally, being born in Indonesia and moving to the States when I was 8 years old, I came here for a better education as well as a better opportunity, and I feel like America is that standard, that gold standard that we need to obtain and hold to show to the rest of the world who we are and what we stand by.
Absolutely. And I think also on top of that too, we are the representation of that. I think I want to make sure that we understand that the platform that we currently have right here, right now, is kind of like putting ourselves on the forefront of kind of addressing the issue. So I want to make sure that at the time that we're in right now and that we're opening up, but we're opening up not just Pandora's box, but the gift of giving back and vocalizing the importance of equality. And making sure that you guys understand that, or that we all understand that it doesn't matter the skin. You can be green, purple, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? What matters is who you are internally.
Yeah.
How do you portray yourself internally? And then from there on, how do you operate externally? So that's why I feel like it's what's important right now.
I agree. I think using that privilege, you
Yeah,
know, if you were
absolutely.
born in this country or are privileged to live in this country, which is the land of opportunity, take those opportunities. And any success in life you get, whether it's minor or whether it's major, the best thing you can do and what makes this country so great is that you can pass that hand down, lift the next person up there, you know, be that active participant for change. That's what makes this country so great. You have the opportunities and you have people who have made the successes, and so follow their standards and also make your own path. Be a trailblazer.
Yeah,
This
be
is
a
the place
leader.
to do it.
That's amazing, guys. Honestly, wow. You guys have all spoken really eloquently about that. And it's so important because you guys do have a platform, like you mentioned. And it's so important that you guys talk about things that are so important to the pageant community, to the world, to America, to the United States, because you guys are the representation of the U.S. in an international level. And the U.S. is looked at as a standard, per se.
Yeah.
So really eloquent and great thoughts, guys. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Leadership. You were mentioning leadership before. You guys are leaders in your own right. So I would love to hear you guys talk about how you take leadership, how you show leadership in your lives, in this competition and just in general in your life.
Yeah, I guess I'll go first then. In reference to leadership, I think leadership is the essence of providing a service, not making it about yourself. Making sure that you take the time to alleviate yourself from the study, understand it, and then portray it to a point where you're able to give back to your community, to your loved ones, to your friends and family members. I think that also shows the definition of like a high valued man. Being a high valued man is the indication of providing a service as well and giving back to your community and showcasing that, hey, I too can learn, understand, study, and then learn from my mistakes, take the mistakes that I've gotten, and then implement them and making them a better, and then go from there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's the definition of leadership for me.
So my perspective on leadership is kind of like being a role model, setting a good example. Instead of telling people what to do, you show them what to do. You show them you focus on the positives instead of the negatives. You are able to communicate effectively your ideas. You're able to eloquently formulate the problem and then be able to solve the problem. You include every single perspective in solving said problem. Because while one brain might work really, really, really well, several brains as a collective having these out-of-the-box ideas is what actually makes like any problem solving, any situation, any group, any think tank, any country really kind of raise its level.
I agree. It takes a team. I was fortunate to have a great team at home. My parents were just amazing leaders. My dad in his community too, he was in the Navy, and so he was always active. And so seeing him first standard, how he held himself, then reciprocated and trickled down to me. You know, allowing people to grow and allowing people to make mistakes, I think is the best trait of a leader. A leader is there to assist. A leader is there to guide. A leader is not there to tell you what to do or tell you what not to do. And my mom always led with grace and passion. And so having two great leaders in my life, one showing you the work ethic you need, but also never taking yourself too seriously and always understanding that people are people and they have emotions, and tap into that. I think that's what makes a great leader great.
Yeah, that's awesome. For me, leadership in a sense is just leaning in, whether it be in your community, on your platform, and what you believe in, is setting a good example for who you were as a kid. So I try to remember back when I was a kid and just the person I needed to be, or the person I needed in my life in that sense, and just like who would that person be, and I want to be that example for those younger generation. And specifically as well too is just like walking in that grace, and living a life that's greater than yourself, as well as living a life for others and serving your community, serving your loved ones.
And I kind of want to piggyback off of that real quick before we go to the next question, but also being an African-American man like myself, I think it's really important being part of the minority to showcase to little boys and girls that you too can be in this position. Mm-hmm. So me stepping into this platform right here, right now, being authentic, being organic to who I am, no matter what anybody thinks about me, you too have the ability to showcase your vulnerability, for one, your masculinity and femininity as you grow and as you become the person that you're supposed to be. So on that responsibility for myself, I take on that accountability. Yeah. So I want to take on that accountability to showcase that leadership can start right here, right now.
I feel like the biggest thing for leadership is accountability.
Yeah.
Just holding
Yes,
yourself
it
up
is.
to that
Absolutely.
standard.
You guys mentioned just that standard that you have as a male. You know, there's pressure.
Yes.
You have to be masculine. You can't be feminine. But clearly, a balance between the two is important. Being feminine, and I mean, if you ask me, I would say there is no existence of femininity and masculine. It's just humans.
Yeah.
Emotions aren't feminine or masculine. It's just we're humans.
understand.
So I would love to hear a little bit, and I would love for you guys to just speak about how toxic masculinity goes along with femininity.
I'll kind of relate that to like my modeling background. I've noticed every time I post like an editorial, which when I do editorial work, I'm always on my feminine side. I like to tap into that side. I think the photos turn out better. But every time like I post something like that, I get the most likes, and I look, and it's a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys, girls, doesn't matter. But when I post like a really masculine photo, doesn't do nearly as well, and it's mostly girls, not guys. So it's like you guys talk about, a lot of guys talk about not being, you know, feminine or whatnot, but we all like that kind of stuff. We all are just afraid to like show it. So like with me, how to show my feminine side is like through my modeling, through my pictures, through my work, and that helps me apply that to my real world life as well.
It's awesome. At the end of the day, we're all intellectual, emotional beings, and we all feel and experience things differently. And just being able to express your emotions rather than suppressing them is key.
It's important.
I feel like, going back to the last question and kind of building off of that, being a leader is someone who goes in for the kill. I would say it's likened to a matador. Matadors, we go in for the kill. And the only way to stand out in life is by being unique and true to yourself.
I agree. I think guys need to have the conversation. You know, I think when you put a bunch of guys in the room, traditionally it's assumed that it's like locker room talk. You know, I have been a part of leadership groups when I was younger, where you put a bunch of guys in a room, you put a bunch of girls in your room, and you ask them to say what they would say about the other gender. While girls are saying like masculine, gentleman, respectful, guys, when they're all in the room, say the opposite. They say hurtful things. And I think we need to break that wall down of when we're with one another, this isn't a place where we can attack others or feel like, oh, we're in charge, or go back to these medieval ways. Right. If you're gonna change, you need to make the change within yourself and also hold your brothers to that standard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, it comes back to accountability, and like I said, going back off of the topic at hand with the feminine and masculine energy. Again, it's our job here on this earth to be able to tap into both masculine and feminine energy, no matter what, no matter the circumstances. Being a high quality woman and being a high quality man is the indication of showcasing your vulnerability at the almost high.
Yeah.
And understanding that it's okay to tell your brothers that, because again, toxic masculinity, I feel, is also not having the ability to showcase that and tell that person, hey, listen, bro, it's okay to not be okay. That is showing the understanding of vulnerability and femininity. And then understanding like, hey, bro, you're good. I'm proud of you. Like encouraging each other. I think we live in a society where people are afraid to tell another man, like, dude, you're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
You're doing good too as well. Be passionate about it, bro. It's okay. It's not saying anything that's going to disrespect you, but showcase any and everything of success.
Yeah.
Building off of that, I feel like people are really afraid to share their own opinion and be unique in that sense. Everyone tends to follow a crowd rather than like assessing their own viewpoints and sharing what they actually think. And I think that's the only way that you can make really any significant change in life and in the world. So that's what being unique and being a leader is all about.
I kind of agree with Brian's point about there's no distinction between femininity and masculinity. We're just humans, okay? Strength does not come from masculine energy. It comes from just strength. Because some of the strongest people are women, okay? The people that are the center of the household in most situations are the women, not the men, the women. They hold down the fort, they take care of what needs to be done. Not in terms of, I'm not talking about housework or anything like that. I'm talking about men are emotional beings. While we hold it in for the outside. We don't hold it in for when we go home. I know at least every single person in this table right now has went home and cried, literally cried. And if you have a partner, if you're lucky enough to have a partner that supports you and loves you, you know they held you. You know they held you at that point, at your lowest of lows, and they supported you. They were the rock to keep you through it. But it's no masculine, there's no feminine. There's just this stigma that it's just vulnerability is something for weak. It takes strength to be vulnerable. It takes strength to just be. While personally myself, I don't feel comfortable being vulnerable in front of like a bunch of people that I do not know. It's gonna take like a few minutes or minutes, couple weeks or something like that. I'm down to cry if I have to, but like
I'm down to cry.
I'm down to cry if I have to, but
Absolutely.
completely honest, I don't want to say brainwashed by society or something like that, but it's just ridiculous that why are we so afraid to show our own emotions?
We've been conditioned.
Yes,
We're-
yeah.
we've been
Conditioned,
conditioned.
that's a better
Yeah.
word, conditioned. Because
Absolutely.
we should be able to cry. We're not, when you think man, you think angry, you think stubborn, strong, macho,
Absolutely.
ismo.
And like you said, going back over, like the word human, man is inhuman.
Yeah.
When you guys really think about it, the word man is inhuman. So therefore,
So
like you
great.
said, maybe there isn't any type of understanding between just the masculine and feminine. Maybe it is just
We're just
human.
human.
We're just human. We're just here. But I guess me speaking for people who may not grow up, you know what I'm saying, especially in my culture, like people are not known to be able to tap into their vulnerability or to the feminine energy. So me being a voice of that, like I'm telling you guys, it's okay to tap into your vulnerability at any given time.
You know, and Massachusetts just mentioned about crying. I would love to know, and I asked this question as well to the other group, when was the last time you guys cried? Texas, you usually strike me as a very fun person, so I want you to start. When was the last time you cried?
Last time I cried, well, it'd probably be with watching The Notebook, because that's my favorite movie. And yeah, I mean, that might sound like an embarrassing thing to say, and I get laughed at all the time
It's not
for that.
though. It's not.
But I think that the most beautiful thing in life is finding true love and finding someone that you really connect with. And I think that The Notebook really represents something that's really hard to find, but possible. And critics will criticize that and say that, oh, you know, that's a fantasy to find someone who you really connect with and share that powerful love. When in reality, it's not, and it's a really beautiful thing, and those are real emotions. Like, I try to explain the meaning of life, and love is the only thing I ever go back to.
Awesome. Washington, you as well are pretty, I would say, masculine. You kind of get that bad boy energy. So when was the last time you cried?
Monday. It was before we started this competition. As a lot of guys know, I have some forehead, like little in thing going on, little rash thing, and it just, I don't know. I overthink things. So when that all started, and all these guys are just, you know, they're studs, man. So it just kind of wrecked my confidence right off the rip. So part of me didn't want, like, you know, it sounds silly, but part of me didn't want to do it. I was like, it's over, like this pageant, like I look whack, like it's not gonna work. But you know, just kind of talked with, you know, my girlfriend. She once again, she's the strong one. She helped me through it, and she's like, just go do it. Just go be your best. Like, that's what makeup's for, you know? Like, they're not going to judge you based off that. So I'm glad I did. I would have never met these guys and would have never had this experience. But yeah, that was the last time I...
You look great, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You look good.
that's some good shit, man.
Thank you.
What about you guys? This side. Who's cried?
Yeah, kind of going through some stuff right now. I cried yesterday. My grandpa passed away, so I'm kind of like internally going through it right now. You know, it's hard because you know a lot of my family were gonna come into town for tomorrow, like the show, and so I'm like, the way I deal with it is I kind of try to like repress it a little bit, just try to like push forward, but. You know, it's okay to cry. You know, it's okay to like do your thing, and I feel like I will take the time later on to deal with it. It's really hard to kind of like go through it now, but man, I just really wish he could have been here. You know, it would have been really fun. You know, to like have that, but I don't know. I feel like it's nice to be with the guys. Like I feel like they're really like pushing me through, and it's a nice experience to be able to do that. And you know, I'm gonna do it for him, and I know he would have wanted to be here. So.
We're here for you, man.
You're making him proud,
you.
so
Oh, yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah, thank you.
What about you guys?
Literally, I've cried almost every day since I've been here, quietly, in the shower, because I'm also too going through things internally that I'm trying to continuously learn how to deal with. You know, I lost my father April 8th, 2021 to Alzheimer's and dementia, honestly through prostate cancer. So that's why my platform is so crucial when it comes to health and wealth. And I'm trying not to get emotional thinking about it now, but the point is, like, he is my why. So being able to cry and tap into that, whether it's just for a moment or whatever, like I have the understanding of being like, okay, cool, it's cool to be in that state, to cry. It's all right. It's okay. Because to me, that's him speaking. I am a vessel from God. I am a vessel, and therefore he is telling me it's okay. So just to let you know, bro, like, you're good. It's okay if you are able to tap into any and every emotion. If you have to yell, scream, cuss, whatever you have to do to get those emotions, because you lost somebody that was so comfortable to you and so relatable to you and so close to you, you have every right to feel that. So,
And we're here for you.
and we're here. Yes,
You're not alone. You're not
Absolutely.
alone. And thank you guys for sharing that.
Yeah.
The
Go
last-
ahead.
I'd say I'm a pretty emotional person, but I do suppress it a lot. I almost cried on 2 days ago in the Glendale Galleria because I work really hard. I've been averaging about 4 hours of sleep every single night because in the morning, I'm really like self-conscious in respect to this competition because I have cut like 15, 25 pounds of starving myself since January, dude. 15 of it was like in the last month, dude, because I want to be the best. I want my modeling career to be always there. I feel intimidated by everyone who's so established, who's so successful in their fields right now. Because like right now, I'm always at a constant low. I'm always running at a constant low. I always get burnt out. Like in the middle of the day, I'll just be like, I cannot do this. And sometimes I'm just like, I'm about to cry. But when I really like, one of the moments that I think that like, I almost cried, like I did cry. One of the most powerful moments of my entire life was when I lost my babushka, which for many of you that don't know, that's Russian for grandmother. That woman raised me. My parents were not there. My parents were busy fighting and stuff. They divorced. My babushka raised me since I was a kid. She is the reason I'm standing here. She's the reason I am who I am. She taught me character. She taught me what power means, what strength means, what resilience means. And funny enough, if you want to, like, if you think of a Russian babushka, she has the little wrap and stuff. That's what she looked at. But she had all gold teeth. She had all gold teeth, and she taught her brother was the boxing champion of the entire Soviet Union.
Wow.
She used to beat up his bullies because he was a trus. He was weak. He used to get beat up all the time, and she used to stand up for him.
Speak about strong.
Yeah,
That is what strength. And when I think strength, that is my definition of strength. And just to lose her during the pandemic, and me not being able to even see her or anything like that, like I saw her condition go worse and worse and worse, and I just couldn't do anything about it. Just living through that, I don't think I've imagined anything worse pain, because I don't know my brother. I'm not that close with my brother. I'm not that close with my parents, to be honest. But that was the one person that really raised me. Like this is that is why I'm standing here. All the shit. Sorry, I'm swearing. All that stuff. That is the reason I'm here. Like, and to be honest, I feel like I disappointed her. I'm not there yet. I'm 21 years old. I have done terrible things. Not too bad, but I don't feel like I'm my best self yet, and it's a process. I was talking to Mr. New York, Raymond, about finding your purpose, about growth and everything, but it's really hard to love yourself when you constantly hate yourself. It's really hard to love yourself when you're always at edge with yourself. I always want to be better. That's the beauty in it. But it's always from a bad spot. It's always from a dark place where I hate you, dude. I just hate you. Like, I hate myself. I always want to be better because I hate myself. I will wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna go work out at 12 o'clock midnight tonight, for an hour just on my body. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m. to work on my body. I'm going to do meticulous skincare. I'm going to eat almost nothing in the day. I'm gonna take care of my hair. I'm gonna do all this shit just to look perfect. But really, I'm breaking down. I'm actually breaking down. And
I feel like that's very much so mindset though. That's shifting from a place of that stinking thinking and getting your mind right and loving yourself in a sense. If you get your mind right, you get your life right. And just staying positive, knowing that what you're going through is only a representation of your physical self, and knowing in depth more about your emotional and intellectual self will get you to a place to love yourself physically.
You don't doubt yourself. How do you
love yourself though?
You gotta lead with love, man. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the people who loved me, And so knowing that at the end of the day, you only have yourself, and so always loving yourself. I think it's easy to motivate yourself through hate or motivate yourself through fear. But these things, they'll come up in other ways. They'll show in your anxiety. They'll make you insecure. And so if you push through with love of oh, I don't look the best today, love yourself. Or oh, maybe I'm not as great as other people. Love yourself, and if you act with love, and sometimes, dude, you fake it till you make it.
Yes.
You tell yourself, I don't look the best, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the most facial hairiest, but you just push through it, and I promise you, the results you get from love and the energy you create leading with love, that's the place you want to live in.
And I'll piggyback off of that. I mean, like I said, I've been a teacher before. I'm in the fitness industry and stuff. There's days where I remember I had to do lesson plans, or I had to really look at maybe 20 children, and really internally I'm going through something that they have nothing, they can't relate to that. Yeah. But I have to understand that I love myself enough to give them just the same amount of love or more, because of what they may not even understand. Or say, for example, if I'm going to the gym and I'm looking, I'm dude, I don't feel like being here. I don't feel like it. Those are usually the best times I have the best gym workouts ever. When you go somewhere and you have the understanding, I'm going to do this the right way, I'm going to do this the right way. 9 times out of 10, you probably won't, because you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing. So if you take some time to kind of just digress, pay attention, calm yourself, count to 10 if you have to, and then operate in a functional manner to be okay, this is what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Analyzing the subject first and then attacking it. Understanding the objective. So you have your objective right now, personally, I feel, is you showing your love for you internally. Because you can't, if you're trying to love someone, you can't love nobody until you love you first.
You don't love yourself,
up,
how the hell you gonna
if
love
you don't know how to love
else?
you, I'm serious, man. So you got to learn you so much that is internally infected to them too. So learn to love you more, bro.
And also just know that, yes, you might look around the table and see amazing men, but everyone struggles.
Yeah, everybody's going through something.
Everyone struggles.
Trust me.
It's also kind of hard because I'm the youngest here.
But that doesn't matter.
Your age
that doesn't matter. That does not
Your
matter.
age does not
I'm 32
define
years old, man. You think I'm not going through something currently right
I'm
now?
I'm not talking about going
tell
through,
me.
but I'm talking about different stages in life.
But,
It still doesn't matter,
You guys
bro.
are way more mature than me.
It does not matter. You're looking at something that you can't. things like that is not tangible, bro.
No.
You're worrying about the wrong things. Worry about right here, right now.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment right here, right now. You're worrying about the future. That was my mistake. So if I'm like doing a little big brother talk to you right now, it's my job to let you know to stay focused on your craft. Stay focused on right here, right now.
Yeah.
Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry
Yeah.
about the next hour. One of my therapists said something like, hey, if you can't worry about the future, worry about the month. If you can't worry about the month, worry about the week. If you can't worry about the week, worry about the day. If you can't worry about the day, worry about the hour. Take it hour by hour.
You just
That's what
rap.
you have to do, bro.
It sounded like a rap.
But it's the truth, man. It's the
Also,
truth.
like
Therapist is
feel
Busta
proud in what
Rhymes.
you're doing.
Yeah,
Like, right now,
man.
you're here.
Like
You're
be
here.
in
It
the
takes
moment.
guts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Be
It
in
takes
the moment.
guts.
And you're
Also,
enough, bro. And you're
biggest,
enough.
Yes.
biggest thing as well is just knowing that you're not a product of your circumstance.
And that too, yes.
So you're not a product of your circumstance. And like back with love too, like for me personally, the greatest love for me is my faith in God.
Oh yeah.
And just
My
knowing
Lord and
that His
Savior.
love is
I love
perfect,
that.
His
Love
love is
that.
everlasting, and then even if like I don't have a earthly father here, but I know I have a heavenly Father, and just
Absolutely.
everything that He's doing for me is for His glory and His greater good.
You can't do nothing without God, bro.
And you said that you're not mature. You are mature because you are asking yourself these questions.
Exactly.
Someone that's not mature would not ask these questions. Oh, I'm not there yet. What do I do? You're asking for help. You're asking for guidance. You are somewhat mature. So don't knock yourself down.
I definitely think that within the past year I've done a ridiculous amount of growth. Like
Yeah.
if in my,
So look at
when I was
that.
19,
when you're down,
So you're
look at
acknowledging
that.
that. Yeah.
I'm,
You're acknowledging
I'm acknowledging that, but there's still a much greater journey to get there.
Of course.
And that's for all
and
of
that's
us.
for everybody,
That's for all
bro.
of us.
That's for everybody, bro.
And you never-
You're
the
not
journey
by
never
yourself
stops.
in that department.
There's no destination. There's no destination. You get the relationship you want, you get the job you want, you get the title that you were seeking after, and every time you get to one hilltop, there's another one in the distance.
Exactly.
So it's not about where you're going, it's about the journey, as cheesy as it sounds.
And you know what's crazy about that is if you look at life as peak and valleys, like if you hit your peak, there's nothing up there to sustain you up there. There's only perspective. And as soon as you're up there, you're only going down. All you have is a new perspective, new inspirations, and just a new way of thought and
like
living.
You're constantly changing.
And on top of that too, when you get to the 9 times out of 10, you by yourself.
Yeah.
You want to bring somebody with you.
No.
So trust and believe. You know, you want to bring somebody to the top with you. I don't want to go by myself. I want to go with love.
We had this
And
conversation
it's
outside.
like we're not stepping on each other to get where we're going.
No,
Like, we're
exactly.
bringing each other up while we get there.
Can't get
And
anywhere
that's
by
what's
yourself.
beautiful
No.
about this competition, just like meeting you guys and everybody, and just knowing where our heart is and where our passion is, and just how
Right.
much love we have for each other. It's just that's internal and everlasting.
Absolutely.
Man, let's go camping together, guys.
Well, guys, clearly we have a batch right here that is spectacular. The way that we're talking, the way the conversation that we have open right here is inspirational. And I invite you guys, like we've said multiple times before, talk about it on social media. Those doubts that you have, don't pretend like everything's perfect. It's not. We're all human. And I know that that side is the side that's going to connect with your audiences. So definitely talk about it. Don't hide it in. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay? And thank you guys. Thank you so much for sharing all those personal things, because those people will fall in love with you because of that. That's what makes you guys unique and special. So
Thank you. Really
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
it.
Absolutely.
guys.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Now, you guys make sure that you like and subscribe to this video and channel. We're going to have a new Mr. Supra National USA tomorrow. It could be one of these guys. Who's going to win? Oh, I'm glad
here,
you guys
baby.
didn't hesitate.
Right.
Good job. Good job. Well, thank you guys. I will see you later. I appreciate you for being here. Once again, thank you to the gorgeous gentlemen for being here. Not only outside, but inside. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
You better like and subscribe, all right?